Hello beautiful people, thank you for joining me today. Today I'll be sharing with you my favorite high-end luxury everyday eyeshadow palettes. I have a total of 8 eyeshadow palettes. Most of them are neutral, but I have a few with some pops of colors as well. So I'm going to be showing you the palettes in no particular order, and I actually have one on my eyes today. Can you guess which one it is? Please feel free to guess in the comments, and let's start. The first one I'd like to share is the newest eyeshadow to my collection. It is not a new release. It is the Soft Glam by Anastasia. I finally decided to pick it up because they recently released the smaller edition of the Soft Glam. I decided to pick up the full-size one. The reason I took a while is because I already have the Novena and the Sultry, but I felt that the colors did not really flatter me as much as I thought it would. But as this is so popular, I decided to give it a try, and I'm glad I did. Among the eyeshadow palettes, this is my favorite. There are actually 2 color tones in this warmer orangey color, and there's also some dusky pink colors. So depending on the mood, you can either choose to go more pinky or more in the warmer tones. And for the Anastasia, the formula is a bit drier, and they're actually very pigmented, so it's better to start with less and blend it out slowly. So these are some swatches. Next palette I have is Goss Imperial Topaz. The reason I like this palette is because I find it very versatile. Not only for eyeshadow, but I can also double this up as a highlighter. And the celestial shade is also flattering to the eyes. And this black one can be used as an eyeliner or to deepen the eyeshadows that are in this palette. The next eyeshadow palette is the Tilbury Exaggereyes. What I like about Tilbury is that her shadows are very easy to blend out. It's very buttery and smooth. It feels very nice. And the celestial shade is also very flattering on the eyes. And this is the matte shade. And it really blends, feels very smooth. And the celestial shade. Okay, the next eyeshadow palette, Scott Barnes Snatural. So I got this at a really good deal, a 50% discount. And these are the colors in this. They actually do look quite natural on the eyes. We of course we can darken it up for a stronger effect, and it's very easy to use on a day-to-day basis as well. For the Scott Barnes palette, the color that attracted me was this one here. This is the color. For the mattes, they're actually of a drier texture, but they still blend out very easily. So usually when the mattes I notice are drier, they have a tendency to be easier to blend out as well. It also depends on the individual eyeshadow, so it's not always the case. The 5th eyeshadow palette I'd like to share is the Tilbury Easy Eye palette for the Charlotte Darling look. And again, the shadows inside here are buttery smooth. The shimmers look flattering on the eye as well. The colors are stronger here, are warmer in tones, but it's still quite easy to wear for a day-to-day basis. So for example, the shimmer mattes. Mattes are really very smooth. The 6th eyeshadow is the Viseart Neutral Mattes No. 1. To be truthful, when I saw the Viseart, it took me a long time to pick it up because of mainly the packaging, and it doesn't look fancy, and there's no shine in this. It's all a matte palette. It did not appeal to me, but when I picked it up and I used it, I realized this is actually a really very dependable palette. I find this one of the best neutral eyeshadow palettes to have in your collection if you're looking to invest in a neutral eyeshadow palette that can complement any other eyeshadow palettes that you have. These colors, especially the ones on top, depending on our skin tone, matches our skin very well, and it just blends into our skin. Any eyeshadow that we have, we can smoothen the look of the eyeshadow that's on our eyes with this palette here, with the more neutral skin tone. It will just make the colours blend seamlessly into the skin and give a much more professional effect. And these colours last the whole day and they blend so easily into each other without much effort on our part. This is one of my favourite neutral palettes. For the Viseart eyeshadow palette, the formula is actually drier. It's another one. There's actually a drier formula. These really blend out very easily. They do not swatch so well on the skin, but they blend seamlessly on the eyelids. The 7th palette I'd like to share has pops of colour, and this is the Chocolate Gold palette. This is an older palette, but it is definitely a palette that is worth looking into if you like shimmers and neutral colours. There are pops of colours here and the gold, but there are also a lot of neutral, everyday friendly shimmers, as well as matte colours inside. And the shimmers are really very pretty. So, for example, and then one matte, which I use a lot. If you don't mind a chocolate scent to it as well. These are the colours. And if you're curious about the pops of colours, I can try the green and the pink. And the 8th palette that I have, which I'm actually wearing on my eyes today. Are you ready? And it is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Did you guess that? Although it's a gold palette, and there are quite a few gold shades as well, there are also equally many neutral shades as well. Brown shades that are very suitable for a day-to-day basis. So what I did with my eye look today, which I used this palette, I used this colour here and deepen it out a little. These are the colours. And then this, with a little bit of this in my inner corner. So as you can see, it's actually very suitable as a neutral daily palette as well. I was actually deciding between the gold palette and the Biba palette, but the pops of gold and gold palette attracted me much more, so that's why I decided to pick up the gold palette, as not only does it have the gold, it also has the neutral tones in it. So these are my 8 palettes which I reach for constantly. Do feel free to let me know which are your favorites as well, or if there's any that you highly recommend down in the comment. I would love to know that as well. So I'll see you again in my next video. Stay beautiful. Bye!